Powered by Riverside.
Hey, welcome to Blue Jay Banner Today. It is Monday, and we kick off another big week in Creighton sports. And today we're going to kind of recap the whole weekend. And I just got to say, man, what what a disaster weekend for Creighton sports. It was pretty bad. But the good thing is this is a huge week, especially for basketball. Number one. Number two, hey, we did have some positives that I'm going to talk about. So, but before we do, I'm going to talk about Infusion Brewing. Go to infusionbrewing.com. Check out all they have to offer. Wonderful tasting room, as we talked about. On Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, they have pizza, which is delicious. To go down to the tasting room, get a flight, check out all their different beers, and then settle on a few, grab some six-packs, purchase them, and drink them over the weekend. And you know, when we've got all these big sporting events going on. So check them all out. That's infusionbrewing.com. All right, where do we want to start? We're going to end with basketball. So let's start with softball. Now, softball started off well. They won their first two games, South Dakota and Wichita. But then they ended out the weekend losing 3 straight. So they're now 5-10 on the season. And much like baseball, they're playing some pretty good competition. This weekend, I think we maybe have a chance to get some wins. We're going to head out to Northern Colorado and play Northern Colorado 3 times and Colorado State twice. So five games this weekend for the women's softball team. Let's hope we can rack up some wins, and we look forward to very soon when that new stadium opens downtown. Baseball, man, I don't know what to say. We had a lot of high hopes for baseball coming in here, and got that 2 out of 3 in St. Mary's. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Then we really ramped up the competition this weekend. Played Utah and San Diego and UC San Diego. Now, we started off with the UC San Diego game, which was on ESPN Plus, and what a crusher. I mean, everything was going great, and that kind of turned it. As they hit the grand slam, we're up 6-3, gave up a run, it was 6-4. They hit a grand slam off Kuzman, and it went to 8-6, and we had 2 guys on, nobody out, a run in. It was 8-7 in the 9th inning, so it looked like we could rally. We hit into a double play and then hit a deep line out to right field to end the game. So lost that one 8-7, and then everything just was a disaster from there on out. Got thumped 15-5 by San Diego. Now, San Diego's the better of the 3 teams that we played this weekend. They're very good. Very good. Again, starters got off to a rough start. Our bullpen really had struggles. And then Sunday we took on Utah and lost 9-4. And again, the bullpen, Eli Nissen started the game, went 3 innings, didn't pitch bad. But the bullpen just imploded again. So I would think we lost 9-4. So I would think at this point, you know, the big concern, it looks like we can score runs. I know we only got 4 and 5, but you know, we got 5 runs against San Diego, a pretty good team. So I mean, it looks like we can score some runs and generate some offense. That I'm not worried about. We've got some guys that can hit the long ball. I think we're okay there. Pino has pitched very well in his two starts so far. So he looks like a good Friday night guy. But we've got to get Eli Nissen, the jury's still out. He's coming back from that surgery last year, so we don't know how that's gonna turn, but we've gotta get some guys in that middle relief because that's killing us right now. We were giving up we had some hit batters, we had some bases on balls, and then, boom. Then you give up hits. So we've gotta get the middle relief area fixed, and, that's a big concern right now. And it doesn't get any easier. We go down and play some good competition again this weekend down in Tarleton State. We play them twice. We play them Friday and Sunday, and then in between we play Abilene Christian, a good program. So let's see how we roll out this weekend. Um, those games aren't I was kind of confused. I thought all our games are going to be in ESPN Plus, but Sunday's game wasn't on anywhere. So I know there's a lot of baseball games right now, so kinda ESPN Plus only has so much on their platform, so they kinda, um, fill them up with the higher ranked teams, which will help us out later on. We play LSU and Miami, those games will be on. But, um, it doesn't right now show that those games next weekend are on any kind of TV platform, which is disappointing, so we'll have to just, get on the live stats and watch them that way. But at any rate, so the Jays sit right now at 2-4 on the season. And we'll talk more about them later on the week when we preview the weekend of those matchups with Tarleton and Abilene Christian. Right now, I want to talk about Vino Moss. Go to Vino Moss and VinoMoss.com. Two great locations in Legacy and in Eagle Run, their original location. They got wine tastings, alternate nights at both locations. Join the wine club. The wine tastings are free each week. And they've got a special wine tasting tonight at the Eagle Run location. So check that out as well, where I believe somebody from the winery of the wines they're having is going to be there and talk about the wines. So that's always, to me, very interesting if you're into wine at all. Plus, remember, they've got mixed drinks. They got beer. They've got everything. Great charcuterie boards. You can go in there, get bottles of wine from all over the world, and take them home and enjoy them as well. So check it out. It's Vino Moss, VinoMAS. Before we get to basketball, let's talk about the positives this week. The women's golf played in tournament. It was their third best finish of the season in the 25-26 season. They were 11th out of 19th, so kudos there. The men, fabulous. They were third out of 18 teams in Savannah. Grant Feldman finished fourth in the individual standings. So the men, again, I talk about the golf programs all the time. The golf programs have just grew and grew and grew and grew here. So very exciting there. So we got to get Debbie on too. I know I've said that a million times, but we will now that they're back to playing. So congrats to the men. The men, by the way, the next time they take the links will be in almost a month. They are going to go and play Torrey Pines. So the fact that I played Torrey Pines and just have a love for it, we're going to have to get one of the golfers on here after they get back and discuss Torrey Pines. Because I'm really curious to see what kind of scores these guys shoot at Torrey Pines. So, but that was the positive news. The golf teams are, at least a little bit of light. And speaking of a little light, there's always a lot of light on RTI and RTI Threads. Go to rtithreads.com. Check out everything they have to offer. Quarter zips, tees, hoodies, caps, you name it, they have it. And, like we mentioned before, the opening of baseball season, get this, people, it's less than 2 weeks away, the home opener. It's a week from Friday, if you can believe that. It's coming up fast. I haven't seen, I don't know if I got an extended weather report out that far, but I just wonder, like, what can we expect? And obviously things change, so forth. But let's just take a gander here. Well, we can get to Wednesday. Oh, so the first pitch is on Friday. So Wednesday, the high is supposed to be 65. All right. Now we're talking. So hopefully the weather holds all the way through the week. The day before, it's the high is 37. So it is spring in Omaha, which, as I've said many times, is the worst season in Omaha. Not even close. I know you'll say winter is, but winters are barely mild. Okay. Spring is awful here. Just awful. Windy. It's usually not very nice. Kind of rainy once in a while. It's not consistent. Fall is the beautiful season here. It's just consistent all the way through 70s and 80s, way into October. So it's beautiful. But anyway, hopefully the weather holds. Hopefully that's the start of a warm up in a long warm up streak. So we'll have some nice weather, especially that Friday night game. That'd be the one to be iffy. The day games should be okay. And there's no basketball that weekend. That's odd. The first time since we've been in the Big East, we haven't played in that last weekend because obviously there's 11 teams, so somebody's got to sit out. So great chance to go watch the Jays in baseball against Gonzaga. So that anyway, I digress. So in case it's a little cool, and obviously it's going to cool down, even if it's 70 degrees during the day, it's going to cool down at night. You might need some new gear to sit outside at Schwab Park and watch the day. So go to RTI Threads, get some nice gear for the outdoor. You need a new cap. Let's get a new cap. Get going. And everybody's really excited to see this new look Jays team. So check it out. It's RTI Threads and rtithreads.com. Hey, before we get to basketball, I do want to mention kind of a baseball related item. Al Roden, former Jay, one of the several that are in the major leagues right now. Al's trying to catch on with the Twins. He was with the Twins. He went over in the big trade when the Twins unloaded everybody last year, and Al came over to Minnesota. And I thought he played pretty well. I mean, I thought he hit the ball. His outs were hard hit balls. He didn't have a lot of success. They're kind of, they got Larnick and Wallner, so they're kind of loaded in that outfield. Can he catch on? Maybe be a left-handed DH? I don't know. So I think they actually released him, and he wasn't picked up, so they brought him back this spring. And wow, Al had a nice start yesterday. 2 hits, 1 a grand slam. So Al's off to a good start. So let's hope he hangs on. I know that's like about I would say probably a 60-40 chance he's going to make the team. So that'd be really, really exciting for Al. Because crying out loud, Minnesota, you never know. They could have a sell-off at any second. So that, he might be able to play a lot. But congrats to Al. Good start there. Hope he makes the team. Okay, on to basketball. We all know what happened Saturday. By the way, I'll include it in the link here. Make sure and check out our post-game show. I know it was it was an early afternoon where people just probably turned the TV off and went out and did stuff. But check out our post-game. Lou was our guest, and he's always great to talk to, win or lose. And check that out. And then this is a huge week. I mean, you can't get any bigger than this. This is it for us right here. These next 3 games. There are 3 games we can handle, 2 of which are at home. And it starts Wednesday at 8 o'clock against DePaul. All right? The current Big East standings. All right? We're going to take a look at those right now just to let you know where everything sits. Because it's crucial for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, the immediate reason is the Big East tournament. St. John's at 15-1, UConn's 15-2. They play this week. So that's going to be a huge battle. Villanova 12-4, having gotten beat by UConn. Beat, I don't want to say handily, but it was a pretty easy win for UConn. And they're locked in the third. That they can't lose third place. Then comes Seton Hall at 9-8. Then we sit at 8-9. So 4th and 5th, right? So the top 5 get buys in the Big East tournament. We have a game and a half lead over DePaul. Thankfully, because Providence hung on to a game for a change and beat DePaul the other night at DePaul. So we're sitting good there. But if we beat DePaul, okay, if we beat DePaul and we beat Providence, at that point, we would clinch at least 5th place, even if we lose to Butler. Because right now, Butler's 2 full games behind us. So we would win that game. And I think Butler must not play a midweek game or a weekend game this week, because we both have the same amount of games. So they're going to get a bye in here too. So if we win those 2, we would move to 10-9. The best Butler would be at that point would be 8-11. So we would still have a 2-game lead over them with 1 to play. So we would be in. We would be in 5th place, which means we don't have to play Wednesday, which the staff really doesn't want to play. I know there's been discussion about this, and we had a discussion on the post game. And again, I'll put that link in there so you can click and listen to that, because we had a long discussion about, would you rather be the 6th seed and avoid, say, St. John's, or be the 5 seed and 6 seed have to play that extra game, or be the 5 seed. The staff does not want to be that 6 seed. They do not want to play the extra game. So we would play a Seton Hall team I think we can beat. We just clean up a few things offensively so we don't turn it. And they're obviously a very good defensive team. But they don't score. And we could, if we have a good offensive showing, we can beat Seton Hall and get it in the semifinals. So that's key right there, right? So if we win these 2 games, we're locked into 5th place, no matter what happens, at least 5th. However, and 5th, 4th doesn't make any difference. It's what color jersey you're going to wear at Madison Square Garden. Would be the second afternoon game on Thursday, so already start thinking about that. We're probably going to be the second afternoon game, unless we lose and drop to 6, which at that point would be the late game on. We'd be the last game on Wednesday and be the last game on Thursday. If we get 4th or 5th, we're going to be the 1:30, 1:45 tip on Thursday. Already start figuring out how you're going to get off work, all right? But Seton Hall has still a very tough schedule left. They have to play St. John's and UConn yet. I'm sorry, there's 2 losses. We only need to lose 1, frankly, or we can go 2-1 on them and go 1-2. We just need to pick up 1 game and tie them, because we have all the tiebreakers over it, provided they don't beat either St. John's or UConn. Okay? I mean, if they win one of those, if they beat UConn, that's frankly okay, because we beat UConn. And then we would have the tiebreaker because we beat Villanova and they did not. So that would be kind of the tiebreaker. We just can't have them beat St. John's and have St. John's win the league. Then they would have the tiebreaker over us. So that's how it works. I can't see them beating St. John's. Anyway, so we're in great shape to be the number 4 team in the Big East, as bad as the season was. Okay? As bad as it was. And the struggles and the up and down and the emotions and everything. To still finish 4th. And I talk about this in the post game as well. To still finish 4th with all the warts. And to me, that's coaching. That's just flat out coaching. That's a coach that just got the most out of this team. So anyway, if you're interested in everything else, so DePaul is 6-10. So like I said, if we beat DePaul, they'll drop to 6-11. So that's why this game is so huge. Xavier's 5-11. Georgetown's 5-11. Providence 5-11. What a logjam we have for 8th place, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Marquette's 4-12. You know, that's the other time I don't want to play the 6, because this year 6-11. That's the team. The 7th place team is just as good as the 11th place team this year. That's a toss-up game, no matter what it is. So that's really interesting. So it'll be interesting to see the dogfight down there, because I'm sure team will try very hard to get into 6th, and they're all within 2 games of 6th place right now. So that's anything's still possible. And I'm sure they're going to really push to get into 6th place, because then if they win their first game, they play Villanova, an easier matchup, obviously, than UConn or St. John's. So it's gonna be a great Big East tournament. It's gonna be, I don't know how great the basketball is gonna be, but it's gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be evenly matched teams up and down. I mean, Butler and Xavier play in the Big East tournament. Who are you taking there? I don't know. It's a coin flip. But anyway, huge game. I think we're kind of set on Fedor starting now. The second game in a row, he showed some stuff as a starter. As far as DePaul goes, we got to do a little bit better job on the boards than we did last time. I think offensively, we kind of got what we wanted there. We got some good looks against DePaul, so I think we can get stuff done on the offensive end. Yeah, I really like our chances on Wednesday. So I'll be going to practice later today and check out what's going on and what the team looks like and what the mood is and so on and so forth. Talk to some coaches, check it out. But that's where everything stands. And then obviously Saturday, we can't look ahead. We got to get this first one. This one's key, because that kind of sets up, because then that would push DePaul back a clear cut 2 full games behind us. And then we're almost assured of 5 at that point. We would have to have a lot of things go wrong for us not to get the 5th seed and avoid that first game on Wednesday. And then Saturday at 4:30 is senior day, and I want that place packed on that Saturday. It's a 4:30 game. It's a perfect time. People love that game. It's late afternoon. And for senior night, to honor these seniors, especially, we think of Josh Dix, to honor him and what he did this year, that'll be very special. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss some things. We'll discuss some more Big East things. We'll discuss some Creighton things, what I found out today at practice, and we'll also talk a little bit national basketball, where we all sit. By the way, so just so you have this on your radar, we're going to do a bunch of things coming up. First of all, I'm kind of promoting another site I'm involved with, is Bracketville. We put out a podcast the other day about the before the reveal came out on Saturday. We will also do one Sunday of Selection Sunday night, kind of recapping what happened, and we will do one before then, projecting what's going to happen. And then we're also going to do some podcasts here on Blue Jay Banner. We'll post them on both Bracketville and Blue Jay Banner, but we will on every day of the tournament, we're going to have a little preview, a little probably prediction segment of those days, the games those days, maybe some point spread predictions as well. Go through the whole gamut, and maybe talk a little bit about what happened. And that whole week's going to be spent on the NCAA tournament. We're going to try and we'll do a recap of the other sports as well. But we're gonna kind of get some people on here to do their NCAA projections and have a little fun with it. So, all right. So that's kind of all in the works. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Okay. Really want to thank everybody for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Really, really appreciate it. The views have been off the charts here lately, so let's keep it going. And we're excited about tomorrow and the week. Big week. We need big crowds. Get your plans in place. Be there Wednesday, be there Saturday. We'll see you then.